Well, the clock is ticking for the financial review team examining Detroit's financial situation. Their public meeting at the state building became a rally spot for community activists. Dozens protested right outside the meeting. This was day 4 of their 12 days of protest. They opposed the governor's consent agreement, saying it goes way too far. Inside the emotional meeting, the review team abruptly decided to come clean about how the process has been conducted. 7 Action News reporter Val Clark was at that very meeting. And Val, what can you tell us about a surprise revelation that happened today?
Well, Carolyn, the crowd had already gone from restless to rowdy. And then at one point, this quite old copy of the governor's proposed consent agreement was handed out to spectators. Well, some members of the review team didn't like that. They knew how outdated it was. And then they frankly said that discussing it would be a charade. Several review team members spilled the beans, saying the task assigned to them was taken out of their hands.
This didn't happen. In fact, we have never sat down as a body to have a deliberation.
What we can't do is pretend in front of all of these people here that this consent agreement is currently the one that's being considered.
The revelation seemed to be a direct reaction to the frustration, anger, and mistrust being expressed by dozens of Detroiters.
We got a council that we can't trust, we got a mayor that we can't trust, and we got a governor that we can't trust, and we got a review board that we can't trust.
The team then cut to the chase, concluding a financial emergency does exist in Detroit. Treasurer Dillon acknowledged receiving a counterproposal from the mayor and 3 council members today. Earlier, the mayor spelled out some of the changes they're proposing.
I feel I should have the responsibility to really, as far as my executive staff is concerned, I think that should be my responsibility, and it shouldn't be named by somebody else. But once again, we don't need to fight each other. It's time for us to come together to try to get this done.
And having received that counter proposal from the mayor and those 3 council persons just before attending today's review team meeting, Treasurer Dillon says he's going to go home tonight and he's going to read the counter proposal, and then he will have more meetings tomorrow with the mayor, some of the mayor's staff, and council members. Now, in the meantime, the review team is still on the deadline, working with that deadline of Monday, March 26th, to make their final recommendation to the governor. Reporting live from Detroit's New Center area, Val Clark, 7 Action News.
Val, that deadline is certainly ticking. Now, who started all of the confusion today, passing out that old agreement to the audience?
Well, Carolyn, it's funny because we really didn't notice that initially because, you know, it just seemed like they were going through the agenda. And on the agenda, it was listed a discussion of the consent agreement. Now, again, they were not necessarily privy to all the details of the counter proposal that the mayor and the council persons had just turned over today. But they knew full well that the old consent agreement from the governor was quite old and it wasn't being dealt with, and they feel like they really didn't have as much of a hand in this overall process as was initially purported.
Wow, quite confusing, but hopefully
yeah.
it will get straightened out eventually. All right, thank you so much, Val.